Taoist Magic Talk Show brought to you by Taoist Master จี师傅 and 天日 Dragon Taoism ผู้亮天尊 Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. This is your จี师傅 right here again, and today we're going to continue our topic following from the previous, which in the previous episode, we talked about what is a spell, and we talked about the god. So this one, we're going to talk about what is the god. Okay, there are two types of gods in general. Okay, one type is the common one, which you can cultivate and create. Okay, this is the god that you'll be working with all the time. But there's another type. Another type of god is like they're like aliens. They're like from another world above us. They're in a higher dimensions. Okay, these are like real people in another world, and they will find people who they have chosen or have connections with and pass on their stuff to them. So these things is like really not normal because it's not happening all the time. Okay, so there are good ones and there are bad ones out there. Okay, so I don't want to comment on who is like good or bad, but you can kind of see if you have the experience with these things. Okay, so anyway, back to the main thing. So the magic that you do not use the magic to communicate with the alien type. Okay, like the alien type, the higher being type, they are not the one that help you to do things when you do magic. Like you do a spell, right? And the spell is for protection. Okay, it's not that higher being that will like immediately fly to you and protect you. That's not how it works. It never works like that. Okay, so what is actually working here is the god that you cultivated is what you are using. There are gods that are cultivated by like a group. For example, the whole lineage or sect cultivate the gods together, and you as a newbie enter the lineage, you can use that power. Okay, now to understand God, we must start from like no religious background, like nothing. You don't have religion. Okay, nothing. When you're born, you already can create God. Okay, that sounds like very wow. How can we do that? Right? I never learned that you don't need to learn. It's something that human can do all the time. Okay, because like you gotta delete what you used to think gods are. Okay, to delete that and learn again. Redefine the word God in this dictionary, right? So let's go. Let me give you an example. Okay, so there's this little girl. The little girl got a gift, little teddy bear, right? So she named it Ted, like that bear in the movie Ted. Okay, so you see, little girl is young, and she have this Ted as her friend. She believed Ted is going to help her and protect her and whatever, right? So just like a normal little kid doing those kind of things. You understand what I'm talking about because you have been there before as well, and you might have seen other kids doing the same thing. It's very normal, right? You don't need to be a Chinese to do that. Every culture does the same thing. Kids, right? We are born with this ability. That's why we all act like that. Okay, so Ted, you are my friend, and anytime this little girl is like playing, she will put Ted around the corner. And then there's like sleeping time. Oh, Ted, come over. When I'm going out, I'll put Ted on the bed and put a blanket over Ted. So it's like he is sleeping. And then when I'm eating, I'll put Ted around the corner again, or maybe on a chair, pretend he's also eating. It's like you treat that Ted as a real friend. And eventually, after a while, you look at Ted and you see Ted gives you some emotion from like the look. Okay, it just looked different. Like today I look at Ted and Ted looks so sad. I don't know why. And then maybe next day you look at Ted and oh, Ted is happy now. Huh? And eventually you will know how to play with the doll, like the Ted. Like you will hold Ted and move him around like a puppet, right? Puppet him around and act his emotion out. You kind of feel him, right? Oh, Ted like this. Ted like to do this. Like you kind of put an act with Ted. And you feel that Ted actually have a character inside, like a person. This is not the kid just crazy or making up stuff. This is because the kid have faith in the Ted. Faith is a kind of belief that is like a blind belief. You believe something and you don't need evidence or proof. That is faith. Okay, and also combined with a vision of what you want from that thing. For example, I have a vision, like I can see that Ted can protect me. I can see Ted can make me happy. I can see Ted will eat dinner with me. Right? I have this vision of Ted creating this future with me. And I have the faith in that. I believe. Right? Once that is combined together, it is going to create something which we call the spiritual embryo. The spiritual embryo is called the San Toy in Chinese. This embryo, if you can see it, it's a pre-heaven thing, but if you can see it in that dimension, it's like a ball of white light. This ball of white light is very like a palm-sized kind of white light, okay? One orb. And this white light will go into Ted, and it will be following Ted around like Ted's shadow, like a shadow. It follows him around. This thing that goes to Ted will also develop over time. As you build the relationship with Ted and so on, it gets mature. Once it is there and mature, it's not called an embryo anymore. It growed up, it become a god. That's a god, which is the energy body of Ted, which you have created. It is created from your energy heart. That's the core power inside your energy body. It's created automatically like that. And what does that thing do? It follows Ted around. What does it do? Okay, this is originated or rooted from your heart. So it can connect and sync with your heart. At the same time, it also, because your heart connects to your spiritual planetary body, which we call the Yun Sun. Okay, so this Ted can also get the power from your spiritual planetary body. Every day, your spiritual planetary body beams its power to you and also to Ted, giving it the power that it needs to help you in life. So when you're around Ted, your heart and Ted's heart, that energy body, will have this like resonance. It's kind of like feel each other's, right? And you can feel the emotion, the happy, not happy, what Ted wants, that kind of thing. You feel. You look at Ted and you feel he's happy or not. Okay, this little girl, one day, she was like talking to the teddy bear, right? she find that like whenever she do homework, she put Ted around, the homework gets easier. It's weird. Maybe she's just imagining things, but no, it's always like that. Now she have a test tomorrow, and she have to find a way to bring Ted to school, but she cannot. So she was talking to Ted. Oh yeah, Ted, what can I do? Tomorrow I have a test. You cannot come with me. You're too big. What can I do? And she asked, and then she stared at Ted, and Ted looked at her. Of course, didn't speak, but yeah, she suddenly got a light bulb moment when she was looking at Ted. That light bulb moment told her, you know what? You should take a eraser. And then she drew a little teddy bear head on the eraser with her pen. She was like, oh, that looks like you. And then she decided this is your logo, your signature. So, okay, there goes the signature. And then she looked at Ted. Ted looks pretty happy about it. Okay. So next day, she go to school, and there goes the test time. Right? She entered the classroom, and then she placed that eraser in front of her with the Ted face looking at her. And she feels that, oh, Ted is here. And then somehow the test become very easy. Oh my God. What just happened? Magic, right? Yeah. And it's not just one time. It's a lot of time, but she didn't tell anyone. Okay. So she keep using that method, and she get better and better at school. Wow. And because of the witnessing, she start to believe Ted more and more. The faith is getting stronger. The trust is also being built. Okay. Now, you see, it works, right? She just created a symbol to connect to Ted. That is the bear head. She likes it so much, she even signed that bear head on anything she likes, which she needs Ted's power to go into. Her ruler, her pencil case, everything has a Ted head on it. Okay, now she got older, right? She is like now in the teenagers era, maybe 17 years old, 16, okay? And she started to have more friends to talk to her in school. The friends are like getting her busy at the same time, telling her that we're grown up. We play with like adult stuff. Now we play with adult things. We don't play with kid things. And then her mother laughed at her for being so kiddo, always hugging the teddy bear, even as like you're grown up right now while you're still hugging that thing, right? And she feels weird. So she put Ted on the bookshelf and just put it there, decoration, and not touch it anymore. And of course she's like, I'm a big girl now. I don't need to like believe these things. I'm scientific, right? I'm like science girl. I don't need these things. I'm logical. So yeah, she stopped using that stuff. And well, as you stop believing, that faith power is just like shut down. Boom. And whenever she look at Ted again, it's like there's no life to it. It looks like a dead thing, and like just a dead animal, dead object. It has no feeling. And she was like, yeah, maybe I was just crazy when I was young. Every kids are like that, right? And then after a while, she's almost going to college. She needs to take that exam, but it's so hard. So she decided, okay, let me bring out my tricks again. Okay, so I'm going to do that Ted head on the eraser and replicate the whole magic again, right? Darn, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's like no feeling, like the whole feeling is gone. It doesn't work anymore. And then she started talking to Ted at home, and it feels like she's crazy, It feels like she's talking to nothing. Why is like that? Well, you see, that's what happened when your magic is broken. It feels lifeless because there's no more life. You killed that sun toy, that God thing, right, that you put inside. You killed it. When your heart is gone, you don't believe, you killed it yourself. once you lose faith, you already killed that God, and the God is not there anymore. Then, of course, you don't feel any life inside the Ted. You see, Ted is an example of how babies or kids, they can create a God and put it inside a body like it is a statue. Well, some boys might have other things like, I don't know what kind of superhero they like, but they might have some figures around, right? Some dolls or figures, right? And same thing, they believe this will bring them protection, this will bring them whatever, and they will put their faith in those things. And we all grow up making gods and cultivating gods like that. But a lot of us, when we get older, because of the society and everything, we stop all that stuff and just stop believing in it, and we kill all of them. So what happened when the God dies? Like I said, you killed the God. So what happened? It's not like, oh, I killed the God and the God is like gone. No, it's not gone. What happened is, like, when you created that God and the God dies, it's like it's finished, right? So that energy that you put in there, that pre-heaven energy, will go back to where it comes from, which is your energy body. When you sleep during that time, it will go back to your spiritual planetary body, which is the main storage of your life. Once this God have went up to your Yun San, then it becomes what we call them a Tin Jun. Tin Jun is like a type of God in the sky, or you can say like they're like the Lord in the sky in your Yun San. Okay? It's like a power that is in your Yun San. You might have killed a lot of God, right? It's fine. They will all go up to the Yun San and group together. So next time when you create a God again that have similarities with that one up there will connect to the new God and give it some help, give it power. For example, you don't like Ted anymore, okay? So that Ted God went up to the Yun San, right? It stayed up in the sky. And then you have a new thing. For example, now you like Stellar Moon or something like that. So you have like a figure of Stellar Moon, okay? The Ted God above will beam some power through you to the Stellar Moon, and you feel the life again, and it gets some help from Ted too. Okay, so it's like the body is gone, right? The God is dead, but the God never dies. Like, it never really dies forever. Like, it doesn't just vanish. It goes up to the pre-heaven into your Yun San. It's just like it got stored up in the storage up there, and it will create more juice to fuel the God that you need later on in life. So it's not like, oh, I feel so bad, I killed so many gods in my life. Don't worry, okay? They're always up there helping you with your new things. God doesn't always need to be in like animals or a human looking form. It can also be in dead objects like a tablet, a phone, a mic, a keyboard. Everything in your house that you love and like and have faith with, there's a God there. You are around a lot of God at this moment if you look around you. Well, how can I really love my mic? I mean, like, yeah, well, first of all, you get the mic, right? You have faith that the mic can record your voice nicely. And you have a vision of how nice it will be, and the future you will have with the mic. Boom, there goes a God. Everything, like if you actually go into that dimension, right? Everything in your house have a God there. And you are the one that triggers them or move them or use their energy. That is why in the Chinese we have a way of saying it. We say human is man mat ji ling. You're like the one who channels to everything and move those power inside them. So Sounds interesting, right? We'll get more into this in the next episode. My timer is up. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.